We are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park.
Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills.
And we are underway in Buffalo. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Here you go, right here. Time right. Play.
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Looking to throw on second down. Watson.
And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. To throw is Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
That swung out wide to Harris.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Play action. It's Tannehill. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they're up to the challenge.
He is going to find Hill here. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 39. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 39-yard line.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw here taken in by Gesicki.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 17-yard line. From the red zone now, Tannehill. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Paris Campbell with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead on the road Buffalo. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
Well, this defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
They run. It's Kamara. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Tannehill. Oh, and it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Casey Hayward.
And the Bills are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Watson. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play. Tannehill intercepted again. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown.
Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Packers.
Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Tyler Bass now for the point after.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. From the gun, here's Watson. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
The ball comes out.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, partner, you know, coaches always...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Bills will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform, but 4 interceptions here in the first half and several different guys. All right, rifles one, that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Micah Hyde.
And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And going deep for Hill. And he's got it inside the 10. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 42 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Back to throw, Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Ryan Tannehill.
And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead now stands at 13.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Tannehill. This is caught. Touchdown, Packers. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
On 2nd and 9, Watson.
This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
We saw it too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Hey, you got to snap it. You got to snap it.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Bulldozes past him.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free. All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. The 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
Well, turnabout is fair play, I guess. They had a pick six against them earlier, and now this defense, Charles, they get a pick six of their own.
And for a moment, let's just set aside how it impacts the scoreboard, because how about the response? One defense gets the pick six, the other comes back and matches it. These are two defenses that are planning on winning the game for their teams themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. He's at the 40. 20. 10. 5. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Buffalo.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
Yeah, exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The offense running out, and they are charged up ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting...
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers. Calvin Ridley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Packers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
And that flag accepted.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Watson.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Out of the gun, Watson. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills.
On 4th down, Watson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Now it's Tannehill. Touchdown, Packers. Calvin Ridley on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Packers just continue to roll. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the route is on here in this first half.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it. But I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
Kadarius Toney, his intended target,
but now it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move.
Brought down on the play by Amani Hooker.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Watson now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach have already made that decision.
Here we go on 4th. Watson, that's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did.
Here we go.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket. And he'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. Gosh, when you've got Deshaun Watson, Charles, executing a run-pass option, that puts the defense in a tough spot, does it not?
It does, and what I liked is that you called me this week, watching your own video, your own tape, and you said, I think the runner's going to pop a few this week because of what we've seen from Deshaun Watson. His ability to get to the corner, that's where the focus will go.
Right back to Tony. He's got another one. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Steps away. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Packers' D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Calvin Ridley, 81 yards. And the Packers extend their lead yet again. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. The 71 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Watson. This will be caught. Judy.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And a nice pick up there. It gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown.
Traylon Burks
From 6 yards away.
And the Bills' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Extra point up and through by Myers. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Berrios now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Play action. It's Tannehill. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Casey Hayward.
And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Watson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Odafe Owe able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked up by Amani Hooker. And the Packers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And going deep for Hill. And that is caught at the 10-yard line.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
To the air again, Tannehill.
That's swung out wide to Harris.
And it's a Packers touchdown. Damian Harris from 10 yards out.
And the Packers are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
Dancing to his left. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter.
DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson.
Open man right side is Tony.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Myers connects on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tannehill going to throw it. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Bills are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Kayvon Thibodeau. Make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Packers,
they're back to 500 as they move to 4-4 on the year.
And they'll have another road date next week.